Welcome back guys to another episode of Driven by Christ Auto. So, last episode we left off, we was getting ready to do some dyno tuning. We got to get this thing on the alignment rack and make sure everything's going well. We may not have to take this car out there to the test path. The alignment rack's it's gonna tell us everything that we need to know, and we are gonna dyno this car. That is happening. I want to see what type of numbers this thing's gonna put down. So let's go ahead. Let me just kind of let's go ahead and do a check on this engine, check everything out electronically. We'll do the electronic, the OBD scan. Lord have mercy if something goes wrong on the compression test. But we're just going to do a once over and we'll get it ready to go to the next on the other side of where our test path is. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Alright. Everything is green so far. That is extremely good. Alright, so electronics, all green. Let's check OBD scan. Alright, got another set of green, so that's good. And the last thing is going to be the fuel pressure test. Oh yeah, we're good. I can already see it on the meter. Fuel pump has 88% because I do remember rebuilding the fuel injectors and breaking them down and servicing those. So yep, and we put a performance fuel filter in here, so I know we got a good fuel filter. Alright, got one of them K&Ns on there. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thing on the ground. Front wheels are mismatched. Oh Lord, what's gonna happen now? Let's see what's gonna happen. That means we got a wide tire somewhere. Alright, so maybe I did get the tires mixed up. I forgot that the rear ones are wider than the front ones. I don't know how I would have done this, but we're going to make sure we do this right, because that is definitely not going to be good on the dyno. If we got one tire wider than the other, it's going to try to pull on the dyno. Definitely don't want to be breaking straps and watching somebody's car fly through my screen, so let's make sure we get this right. Alright, so that had to have been it, so we're going to make sure we put the 225s on the front. Let's go around to this side. We'll do, yep. Alright, so this should be good. It should let us put the vehicle down now. Alright, now do a safe check again, make sure we didn't miss anything, and we should be good. Alright guys, let me get this hood closed and I will see y'all over there at the test path. Yes, we want to move this vehicle. We're not dyno ready. Test path. Alright, we'll see you there. Alright, so we're going to give a full workup on this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to run the test path. Then we will align the vehicle. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and align it first. We can do that right here. We don't have to move it. Just reach up underneath there with some get a jack and some wrenches and It's not real hard to align the vehicle, it's just the equipment that it takes to do it is kind of tedious. You can do it with some string and some measurement. I've done at-home alignments before, but it's just a lot easier having this equipment. Alright, so we got it aligned, we got the jack out from up underneath the car. Now we're ready for the test bath. Well, we know it's got good compression. It's running. We only got a base map loaded on our computer right now. We're going to do the fine tuning once we get it in there on the dyno. Let's check our suspension and brakes. Should be 100. Yep. Looking good. Fairly close to being maybe 100% there. Alright. Rear suspension's got 10% of the life taken out of it. Probably wouldn't even notice it anyways, so. Alright, I guess we could align the headlights, make sure they're okay. Headlights are good. Alright, so now, the moment we've been waiting for. We are aligned, everything checks out, so we are safe for the dyno. So let's go ahead, and I will see y'all guys at the dyno. Alright, so we got it in here, we got everything strapped down, we got them cross-strapped up underneath the car. You can't see it, but they're there. Believe me, they're there. Alright, let's get this thing open. We're going to get plugged into our computer. You know, we'd have to plug in our wires, run it across the floor to our computer back here so we can monitor it. And we're going to get in here and we're going to go through the RPM range, and we are going to set our air fuel chart as we go through the RPM range. Now hopefully I can do this slow enough and get it up to the, you know, rev limit. We'll set our rev limit and then we will do a final dyno run and see what we got going on. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so pretty much, you know, base map idle is going to be the same. So now we want to go from idle up to about 2,000, you know, just the air fuel. Then we'll go to 3, 4, you'll see. So you give it some gas. Let off over too much. Alright, set it there. Tuning this with a real computer, setting your air fuel ratio maps, you would want to try to hold it at 2,000 and, you know, adjust fuel and timing and go through the full range. And this is also going to make a difference whether what percentage your throttle positioning sensor is too. You know, if you're not giving it much idle and you're cruising down the road, you can kind of lean it up for fuel economy purposes, but whenever you get into this thing, I would do anything over 40% throttle. I would go ahead and start adding fuel into it, and, you know, as in fuel and timing, that way you get the most performance out of your car. But you don't want to run it too rich, because then you're going to lose performance and gas mileage. But you don't want it lean. You definitely don't want your air fuel ratios going lean underneath full you know, full send operation, because that's whenever stuff gets tore up. So, you know, a good 12.5, you know, anywhere in the green. On your air fuel ratio, I know on the AME they got like a blue area, or maybe it's yellow. It may be yellow. And then you got a green, which is in your perfect range. What you want to do is get your air fuel ratios to the top part of the green, not, you know, green going into yellow where you're too rich. You kind of want to get it as lean as possible in the green area, but don't go into the red at all, or orange in anywhere. Top of the green is perfect, but let's go ahead and see what our numbers are. Alright, so it had 314 horsepower stock. Now, give or take, this engine does have some miles on it. And we did not add too many performance parts, but I'm hoping we can get at least over 314. Let's see what we got. First gear, second gear, and we should run third. Upgrades that we did with the original miles on the motor, we gained 5 horsepower. Now, I can guarantee you that this car was not running at 300 and not even at stock horsepower whenever we got it. This thing wasn't even running at all. So yes, Jessica's going to be really happy with her 350Z. And everything is good. We're going to go ahead and send this information to Jamie. We're going to file 13 this. No, we're not going to really throw it in the trash. I labeled Jamie's office as file 13. Anyways, alright, I'm being a butthole. But, so, we're sending that information to Jamie. She's going to get everything printed out, and we are going to give her a call, and she can come and pick up her car. Alright, we will see y'all out front. Alright, so we got the car out here. We done gave her a call, or her call. You know, she's down here. She's in the office picking up her work. But man, dude, I like the body kits on these. I've built one of these before at my garage at my house, and these things are nice. You can squeeze a lot of performance out of them. And I don't know about the VQ in the real world. You know, some people are they really love them, but I'm just not a fan of plastic parts in an engine. I just never have liked that. You know, they were cutting weight and going for a performance aspect, but I would rather have quality over performance any day. Because if you got quality, you can always throw a turbo on it and just push it harder. But whenever you got plastic stuff, plastic fails. Especially with being soaked in oil and heat. It does not like it. But anyways, alright. So she's fixing to come out of here and pick up her car. Let's check the order list, make sure we didn't miss anything. It's not saying that it is done. What is idler roller A? How did we miss an idler roller? Hold up. Let me see what's going on here. Thank the Lord I can get out up underneath here. That's an idler roller. Idler roller. Okay. Let me hit this tensioner real quick, guys. We're gonna pull this loose while she's inside. Maybe we can do it before she comes out real quick. Which idler is it? Okay, that one's at 100. 100. 90. It's got to be this one. Okay, so we accidentally put the old idler roller back on there. By accident. There we go. New idler roller. Let's throw this belt on real quick and get our tensioner back on. Everything's all nice and hot down here right now. Alright. Alright, there we go. We're done. Nothing happened. We got that done. We got that done. Alright, let's see what we made on this. Alright, so we made a total of $7,594. We did quite a bit of work on this thing. I mean, it was 3 episodes it took us to do. So, everybody's happy. You know, it's just like a brand new car again with a little bit more pep in its step. You know, I'm not going to really brag about 5 horsepower. We probably could have gave her a little bit more, but she's trying to stay on a budget. So let's go ahead and get our money. And I'm thinking we're going to go to a junkyard, or you know what, we haven't been to a car auction on here yet. So we'll check out some stuff. We got some. Go ahead and get our money. All right, she's out of here. You know, we got our money. Yay, thank the Lord for that. Boy, Jamie and moving these cars, son. She keeps moving. Every time she get a chance to drive this drag car, she's doing it. Let me get this thing moved back in our dyno shop. Alright, so now that we've moved the car again, since Jamie keeps moving stuff around the shop on us, let's see what else we can get into. We still got, how much longer I got on this camera battery? Oh yeah, we only 15 minutes in. We are good. So, we had a few barn finds we can go do. Oh, we actually got quite a few. We got 5 of them. Our current money is $358,000. Now, we haven't done no car auctions yet. We may go jump in the tow truck and head out to a car auction and see what we can get. We can go get a vehicle that's pretty much junkyard status. Let's go ahead. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna show y'all about these car auctions, and you know, you can, if you're just trying to do something where you're trying to flip quick money, you know, do the basic stuff, get little stuff fixed, you're gonna go through this pretty quickly, and you have to have money to do this stuff. Like, your best bet is still going to the junkyard, fixing parts, and taking a vehicle, and I'm going to show you why. Let's go to the car auction. We're going to get in our tow truck and we're going to head to the auction house. So we'll see you there. Alright, so you got 2 different areas. Alright, these salvage cars are pretty much like junkyard cars. They're just not, you know, completely all the way down to bare frame. But they are pretty trashed. Like, a lot of the parts are taken off of the vehicle. Now that's going to save you time, because this vehicle is already tore down. You're just fixing what you already got there, and you're adding new parts, and you're completely rebuilding it. So these are, but you can find you can actually choose, and you got a whole lot better options with these, and you also get a chance for more rare cars to come through these salvage yards. Mainly the junkyard, they just throw the trash of the trash there. I mean, it's the worst condition possible. You're rebuilding this car from ground up, which is kind of a better thing because most of the work is done for you. It's already tore down. You ain't having to pull a bunch of old parts off and go in and fixing it. It's faster money, or it's more profitable to go from a junkyard because it's a complete rebuild. Salvage cars are pretty much the same. At least you get a choice in this one, but the only problem is you got to place bids on these cars to get them. So we're going to get a car from each, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to kind of take a break from the story orders. You know, we want to do some other stuff at Driven by Christ Auto. We also want to sell some vehicles to the public and not just work on cars all the time. Some people need some cars too. So let's go to the salvage, and I'll show you what the difference between the salvage cars and the junkyard cars are. Alright, so right here you're already seeing it. You got way more of an option to choose through vehicles at these salvage yards. You know, if you like muscle cars, you like exotics, you like, you know, whatever your choice is, you get an option. Besides, the junkyard is just going to be, you know, you get what you get. If you don't like what's there, then you just miss out on that. And some people, you know, you're paying $500 every time you go down there. So that's the reason why I'm saying, at least pick up some parts. Learn the parts that you can fix. That way you don't buy, you know, parts that you can't fix and sell for profit. And go down there, if you can't find a car you like, pick up every part that you have a high capability of fixing. Pick it up, bring it back, and fix it. If you can't fix it, then that's the reason why I just buy everything. If you can't fix it, then break it down for scrap and build up your scrap points. But I've already made an episode on doing that. You know, I'm just kind of recapping it to the comparisons. But at least here, you have the option of choosing the vehicle instead of, you know, just some being left there. So, you know, we like that import. I do like that Impala though. That looks like an SS Impala. And then we got the Hintamoon Mark 1, which is probably going to be the all-wheel drive Eclipse. You know, we done did one of them. Now this car is pretty cool. This it's like a Mini Cooper crossed with a Subaru front. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know really what car they were going after, but I want to show you this car. This car is a pretty quick little car. Alright, so as you can tell, this car is completely destroyed, but look, there's no engine up front. This thing has got the engine in the back. So let's see what... Oh no, you can't even see... You can't even pull it off to look at the motor, really? Okay, I'm not liking that. So these cars are kind of a gamble because you can't see the motor. Let's see, we're going to inspect. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's showing you what all is on the engine right now. So it looks like most of the engine is there. But it is a V6 twin cam rear wheel drive. So you can, and this is like a Civic with a Honda J series crammed into the back of it. So you know this thing's going to be quick. So we could turn this into a race car. Or we could just sell somebody a death trap that they can drive every day. No, I ain't trying to kill nobody going down the road. We gotta, it would still be I mean, who doesn't like a fast car? So, whenever you need to pass somebody, you want to be able to pass them. But you want to inspect this stuff as much as you can to see what you're up against, which I pretty much know this car is going to be destroyed. It's not going to be anything of any value. Pretty much all the parts are broken, but they are all here. So you got to think about that whenever you're doing these inspections and you're checking everything. Wow, they put the fuel tank up front to accommodate for weight ballast. That's good until you think about a car wreck. I don't know if I would want fuel up there with me. They got some dirt tires on the front of here. What was going on with this thing? So coolant system, I know it's just trashed. So make sure you check every bit of this stuff. I mean, you pretty much know it's already going to be trashed because it is at the salvage yard, but at least if you know if all the parts are there, because most of this stuff you can fix, and the stuff you do have to replace that can't be fixed, it's not real expensive. And cars that we build like this, we want to be able to advertise them at the drag strip. We want to show those performance numbers, but we need quick cars to do it. And then we can get this car ready. Let's do the magical spin. And we can get this car ready for sale for somebody who wants to turn it in their race car daily driver. So we got some custom tail lights on here. I think it's even got the custom headlights on it too. So pretty good little car here. But like I said, I can back out of that. I can go right back to it and pick it again. See, it's right there. It's on the second page. So that's one I'm looking at now. You see their ratings. Anytime that their ratings are really low, you know that the car is pretty much trash. There is nothing good on it. And you got some that are 3-star ratings. Like here, we'll take this, like look at this Shelby Cobra down here. We'll look at it. It's got a 3-star. So it's a little bit better. You know, missing door. Looks like the body is mostly there. Let's open up the hood, and the engine is all the way there. So this is not like a junkyard find where there's just nothing there, which you have to take in consideration. If there's nothing there, that's less stuff that you have to tear down just so you can try to fix it, just so you can try to put it back together. If you're already working with a bare frame, it's like almost like building a PC. If you start out with just a case and you build up from there, you're not having to waste the time pulling stuff apart. It's already taken apart for you. So, but you can get these cars a lot cheaper since they are, you know, pretty junky. But they are, you know, put together most of the ways. You may be able to get this engine fired up, you know, and it may run. Now, this is the salvage yard part. This is actually a really good car. You can actually flip this for quite a bit of money. There's too many cars I'm liking down here at the salvage yard. This place gets me in trouble every time I go there. Jamie's gonna be upset. Alright, so let me show y'all the other thing. Let me back out of this. Come on now. Alright, so let's look at the car auctions. Now these are, for the most part, I haven't bought a car yet from the car auction that didn't run, but they're fairly good cars. They don't have very much wrong with them. But get ready to come off with some money whenever you buy them. Like, you fisting to be paying some money. Like, let's check out this little Honda Civic here. Ooh, this is the X-Tech motor. That means this is basically, it's got a VTEC engine in it. I wonder if it's the turbo model. Yeah, see, look how good this car looks. Body's in really good condition. Yeah, these are quick cars to flip, you know. Interior's in good condition. It just needs to be clean, you know, real good. Now let's look at this engine. Yeah, this is the basically the K series version of this motor, and it is a turbo model. So this car is going to be pretty quick from the get-go, and it's in fairly good condition, like as you can tell on your inspection. As you're searching stuff, look at it, green. Now there's going to be a few things that you can fix on there, you know, but you're not going to have a whole lot of profit gain. These are fast flipping cars. You grab these cars, do a tune-up, you know, fix what you can fix to return the factory horsepower. Now remember, the higher the rating of the part, the more, you know, money. The more things you replace with a higher rating, the more value the car is. And that also depends on what type of vehicle it is too. So, would this be a good car to get, turn around and flip? You can already tell it needs some suspension work. If you're looking to do bare minimum work and just fly through cars, yeah, it would be good. But you're not going to make a lot of profit, such as if you go to the junkyard and just basically get a rusted frame and build it from the ground up. You know, salvage cars are the best way to go. They're kind of, you know, some of them have engines fully assembled, some of them probably won't even have an engine in it at all. Like I saw a Skyline up there one time, all it had was the bare block, but that means, hey, less stuff you got to take apart now. So I was just wanting to show you. So no, we're not going to start no auction, but see, you got a wide variety of things. Like, here we go, here's that same Shelby Cobra that we were looking at in the junkyard, but this is one that's assembled. Look at the, yeah, look at the condition of this thing. I mean, real good condition, and this is a pretty much a street legal race car. Look at that motor. So, you know, there's bare minimal stuff, you know, change all the fluids, slap some new brakes on it, give it an oil change, give it a tune-up, you know, new cap, rotor button wires, change the filters, get its performance back, you know, maybe throw some spice in its life, throw a good exhaust system on here, maybe a racing exhaust, and spice it up a little bit. It's a quick flip. You ain't got to pull the whole car around. You're mainly just buying a stock car that bare minimum needs work. So like, if you just wanted to work out of your dyno shop and build race engines, you didn't want to have to build the whole car, this would be your best option. You know, get a good 4-star rating. That way all you got to do is pull the engine and transmission out of it and just start throwing performance parts on it and seeing how much horsepower at budget you can crank out. And that's how you learn how to do the tuning phase. Like, a lot of people will see, oh, it needs 20%, let's throw the most expensive racing part on there. Well, then that cuts into your money. You want to find the cheapest part for the most percentage gained, because it's overall performance. If you gain 10% off of a turbo that costs $3,000, but you, in combination with doing the whole exhaust that maybe costs $1,000 and gives you the same thing, well, you just gain money off of that, because it's still 10% power either way, but you just spent less money. So this is what you would want to buy if you're one of the speed shops, the dyno tuners. But if you're looking to make the most profit off of off of the vehicle, you want to get the vehicle that is torn down the most. So steal your junkyard finds. Now your barnyard finds are going to be like your rare vehicles, ones that have special race motors. They have special aspects to the car that you can't get in an auction or at a junkyard. They all have special attributes, but it's really how you want to play the game or how you want to run your shop. You know, Driven by Christ Auto, we do it all. We can go to the junkyard and pick up the most raggedy vehicle, or I should say frame, and build it from the ground up. I like doing that because most of the parts, you know, are already taken apart on there. I ain't got to pull a bunch of tore up stuff off and go over there and play the fix apart game. We're just throwing new stuff on there and sending it out the door. But if you like doing performance stuff, you know, these are the cars that you want to get. Very minimal stuff you got to do, fit, you know, little suspension component, a little bit there, but it's mainly pulling this engine down and building a race car motor for it. So that's the difference. But I really like this car, but I don't think we got the money. We ain't gonna be able to afford this thing. That's going to be at least $100,000 vehicle once it's all said and done. And this right here, I want to show you this car. This is literally one of the fastest cars in the game that I've discovered so far. This thing's got a turbocharged LS motor into it. Look at that thing. Oh, this one's not turbo. This one's supercharged. So yeah, this one's even faster. Some of them do come with turbos, some of them are supercharged, some of them are just straight NA, you know, just straight all motor. But this car, this is like literally one of the fastest cars in the game. So if you ever come across one of these in the junkyard, you better pick it up, because you ain't gonna pay but maybe $10,000 or $20,000 for the frame, and you can really sell this thing for some money after you build it. But we do not have the budget for this car. This car is probably a $200,000 or $300,000 vehicle, so I just wanted to show it to you. Looks pretty cool. I'm not really sure what this thing was supposed to mimic. Somebody else probably knows, but I just don't know. So I like hyper sport cars and stuff like this, but you know, I'll never own one of these. I like taking a Honda Civic and making it all-wheel drive and seeing somebody that spent more money than they could buying a house, and somebody pulls up next to you with $20,000-$30,000, a 16th of what you spent on this hyper sport car, and you get dust rolled by a Honda Civic. That's what I like seeing. So that's what I like doing. That hurts somebody. Like, you can feel the hurt in their soul. They just spent $300,000 on this luxury hypersport vehicle whenever they could have bought a house. And somebody pulls up next to them in an all-wheel drive CRX with some ridiculous built Honda motor into it and just tears you to pieces. You don't even have a chance. That is what just hurts you to the soul. Anyways, yeah, I'm the fan of that crowd. But anyways, I was just wanting to show y'all that car. So y'all see the difference in between this stuff. So depending on what you're going for, if you're a engine builder, you know, you want a car that's already running, you just want to clean it up, maybe do a little bit of body work, very minimum work to get it to really good running value, and build a race car or build a race performance package for it, this is the way you go. If you're wanting to build from the ground up, you know, salvage is the way to go, but you've got a lot more parts to pull apart, so you get options in salvage that you don't get in the junkyard. So if you're looking for a specific vehicle, salvage is the way to go, but you're still going to have more parts to pull off than just going to a junkyard and just getting a straight up frame and, you know, cleaning it up, welding it out, and starting over from brand new. That's the way I would do it if I was going to go. But every area offers special abilities for vehicles. Now those you just got to get out there and discover. I haven't found every car in this game yet, so I can't give you 100%, but from what I've learned so far, If you're going performance, car auctions is the way to go. Very minimal stuff you gotta fix, just basic maintenance, few things, you can build a race motor. Salvage cars is okay to build from the bottom up, just you're gonna have a lot of scrap pieces to build. And you do have more of a chance of fixing these parts too, instead of buying new ones. So if you like doing the fix and repair game and you don't like just spending the money on new parts, it's all about your budget really is what you're going for whenever you're making this decision of where to go. So if you got a good budget, hey, go for a car auction, build a race, you know, soup up a car and build a race car out of it and put it back out there on your lot and make your money for your performance game. And then you got salvage cars. If you like playing the let's fix a part, that's the way to go, because you're going to get all the parts with it. They're just going to be raggedy as all get out. The junkyard is starting from the ground up. You know, you got money to put into this car, you're willing to buy the parts, you're calling up and aggravating O'Reilly's all day. You're going to be burning up the tires on their trucks, son, from the junkyard. That's the way to go. Now, if you want the most unique vehicles of all, those are going to be the junkyard finds. You never know which way it's going to go. Is the car going to run? Is it something very small that's keeping it from running and you got a supercar in there? That's how you prepare yourself. Am I going to have to rebuild this whole car? Is it going to be bare minimal? You never know with car auction, or not car auctions, but barnyard finds. They're like junkyard. You never know what they're going to have until you go there. But with these, you get a choice in what you got. So, wanted to show that to you. You know, let's look at the salvage cars. I really wanted to build one of these rear-wheel drive V6 like little miniature cars. I bet you could make that thing fly. And it really didn't. Oh, looky there, they got a Toyota Supra. Now, we had one of these at the very beginning of the game, whenever I first started making. Oh, and it's a XJZ. That means it's the turbo model. Let's look at this. It's kind of banged up, but look, most of the parts are there. You're just missing a door. Look at the engine. Ooh, the engine is in really good condition. They took care of the engine. They just didn't do very well with the car, but we can fix some fenders. It's already got a custom body kit, and this is the XJZ, which is the same thing as the 2JZ GTE. This is the turbo model, so you're going to get a lot of performance out of this car. Jamie's going to be upset, but I think we may be bringing a Supra home. Let's see what we can get this thing for. We're doing it. I wanted another Supra. The game cheated me and erased my data, so we're going to pick up a Supra on this one. And we may slide that LS, what do we call it? The Trackhawk killer out of the way. Let's see what we can get the Supra for. Bid starting at $800. The estimated value is $41,000. Now let me explain this. Anytime before you start an auction, you know, starting price is $4,300. Don't ever think you're going to get lucky and get this thing really cheap, because you're not. Normally it's a couple of $1,000s over the estimated value is what you're going to spend. So pay attention to that before you start an auction. Because once you start the auction and you don't buy the car is gone. You don't have a chance to go back, maybe run some races or do whatever. The car is gone after that. Somebody has bought it. Now, it does refresh and you may have a chance to find another Supra, but you never know. So make sure you got the money that you want to invest into this car before you do it. So it's going to drop us below 300,000. So, but you know what? We're getting a Supra because it took us. Let's go for it. And make sure you click bid before this thing runs out. If it gets all the way around, it's over with. It's gone. You can pretty much just keep bidding because it's going to get over 40-something thousand before it stops. See, we're up to 23 already. get it for like half the price. It's getting slower. It always does this. See, we're getting really close to it now. What? Oh, that's the first time we've ever got a vehicle below the estimated value. Okay, so sometimes we got lucky on this. We got it for, you know, what, about $3,000 or $4,000 cheaper. Hey, every dollar counts. So let's go ahead and get this Supra loaded up, and we'll get it back to the garage. Yes, garage. Alright guys, so I showed y'all salvage cars. I told y'all the difference between barnyard finds, junkyard, you know, car auctions, and salvage cars. So it just depends on how much work you want to put into it, what type of work you want to do at your shop, and you know, you can run your business that way. But we're going to go ahead and get this Supra strapped down, make sure it's ready for the road, and we will meet y'all back at the garage. We're gonna put it outside. Alright, so we're back here at the garage. Our Supra should be right out here. Alright, so we got it out here. We even got 4 tires rolling on. We just missing a door. Don't know what happened there, but yes, Jamie was not very happy about us bringing home a Toyota Supra whenever we already got a car to build in here on the rack, which is our LS Trackhawk killer in there. So, no, we may go ahead and put the Supra up in storage, because, you know, we was going to start on that, but I don't know which one, the Trackhawk killer or the Toyota Supra that was lost and never found again, thanks to, you know, saving data on here. But, I don't know. It's gonna come up to a vote. So we did go pick up a car. We spent, you know, we spent some money on it, but you know, we can go get some of our money back. We can go pull out our drag car and go run it at the drag strip 2 or 3 times and make our money back. You know, we're still undefeated down there at the drag strip with the DrivenByChrist first drag car, and I think this one may be our second one here. We may build this one to be our new drag car and go ahead and sell the other one, because we done put some race miles on that thing. So but we're gonna put some more on it because it's got to pay for this. We was up to 350,000. So let's we're gonna go ahead and move this thing to the wash bay. Alright, so let's see what we're up against on this car. It's got a pretty pearl paint job, a pearl silver. The body's banged all up on it, but you know, we can get that straight. We can fix body stuff. We can get them like brand new again. Interior's missing a seat, a steering wheel, and all types of stuff. So, but overall, I mean, the engine looks really good. I mean, I think we got a possible cranker here. If we just threw a hot battery into it, I bet you this thing would start up. If it don't, ooh, that coolant is bad. Yeah, I don't know if we want to, what condition is the oil in before we try to see if this thing is starting. No, that is not good at all. We are not even fixing to try to start this motor. This thing was ran hard, son, before it made it to the scrap yard. That thing was ran hard. They didn't take care of the oil. I hope the main bearings in the bottom of this thing are good. Yeah, before we do any type of compression test or anything like that, we're going to get some new oil into it. So, yeah, we're definitely going to do that. We're going to leave this out here in the wash bay because I got to move some stuff around. Oh, my lord, you can hear Jamie's phone all the way out here. So anyways, I was just looking around. We do got some scrap we got to break down. Now this was our Trackhawk killer. This is the one we was getting ready, you know, to go up against the old Dodges. It kind of looks like a Mercedes with a LS swap done to it, because it's even got the diamond emblem. So this is some type of Mercedes car that they decided to put a dual overhead cam V8 into. It's still gonna be a fun car. You know what? We may actually build this one as a regular, maybe not a race vehicle, but as a good, you know, kind of like a good family sport SUV, kind of like a SS Trailblazer, which did have the LS. I think it had a 6.0 in the SS Trailblazers. I've always liked them. Those cars were pretty quick. That was like the Trackhawk, you know, back in the early 2000s before, you know, Dodge came out with these crazy high horsepower stock vehicles. Now, you know, over time we're gonna find out if those Hellcat motors and all them engines are gonna withstand, you know, 100, 200,000 miles. Because I can guarantee you an LS motor can stand it. I've seen it be done. Man, I watched some kids back in high school just rag these trucks out every day, and they would still stay running. Transmissions may have went out. Them 4L60s and 4L80s just love going out, but it was a factory defect. It was a design flaw that they didn't find out until, you know, people were putting, you know, over 100,000 miles on a vehicle. It takes time to do that. But so that's it. That's our options. You know, we can build the Trackhawk killer, or we can start on our Toyota Supra. We got our drag car out there. Let's go run the drag car. We ain't done that in a while. We'll do that. Since Jamie is successfully pushed this vehicle and just every chance she gets to get into it to move it. Alright, let's get this thing on rack 1 so we can get the oil changed. And this thing, I don't think it needs to be clean, but we're gonna go ahead and do an oil change on it before we run it this weekend. So I'll see y'all at the rack. Alright, we got it in here. Let's get this hood raised up, and we're gonna go ahead and change the oil and put now with these K&N filters, if it was me, I would change the oil filter every time, but they claim that these K&N oil filters can get 2 oil changes out of it, and they still do their job correctly. But you know, since we got about $60,000 race engine here, I don't know if we want to risk that, so we're going to go ahead and change the filter. Let's see, move, go ahead and drop the oil out of it, which should be pretty gold unless something tore up on this car that we don't know about. Okay, that's a good sign. Pretty gold oil. Just a little bit brown, not too brown. You don't want to get in brown, because that's what tarnishes engines. We do not want that. Let's go ahead and drop our filter. Alright, we'll put a new filter on. Remember, make sure the rubber seal come off of this, and pre-lube the oil ring before you screw this new filter on. They love welding theirself to it if you don't put oil on it. Alright, there we go. Let's get this thing out of the way. Whoa, man, that thing's gone. Man, that thing just flies. Alright. So, yeah, we're going to be running our VP Racing oil into here with the Hyperlube and zinc additive. And we also like running Royal Purple too. That's a pretty good performing oil. It does seem to get a little bit darker to me quicker, like on my, in real life on my TL, it does seem to darken, or maybe it's just because of the shade of the purple, it does that, but it seems like it darkens a little bit quicker than the Castrol Syntec or the Mobile One. But overall, you know, it's been proven Royal Purple does a lot better up underneath performance applications, and you know, you got the protection. Does really well with mixing the zinc. So Even though it says we're running a super oil, that's just the jug that I mix my oil in. So we're going in with some royal purple 5W20 with, and it's full synthetic with a hyperlube and zinc. You can get all this stuff, you know, at O'Reilly's. That's where I get my oil and stuff from. Wait for the jug to tip down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stop. And that should be right on point. As long as we're in the operating level. Look at there, right in there. We are good. We are ready to go. Alright, let's get this thing on the ground. Brakes are good. You know, we haven't been doing a lot of track racing, so brakes should be good. Let's check our brake fluid. We definitely want to be able to stop with a 200 plus miles per hour car. Yeah, everything's looking good on that. So we got our oil changed. Our coolant looks good. We don't have to mess with none of that. Our air filter, we can probably wait for we pull the K&N out of it and clean it again. But let's go ahead and get this thing down there to the I don't even know what numbers we were tuning out, but we're gonna go ahead and get it. Let's see. Just had like a brain turd for a second. I don't know why I can't remember anything right now. That was something else we was. Oh yeah. Well, obviously the battery's good because Jamie's been driving it around. So if it didn't crank up, it would have stayed where it was at. I was gonna make sure our battery was charged because we ain't really ran this car in a while. But either way, let's get it outside and we'll jump into it and go to the drag strip. Alright, let's get up into here. Go ahead and give it a crank up. Let it run for a second. Make sure we ain't got no oil leaks nowhere. That's really important in a race car. Alright, so, you know, we're going to get up underneath here. We're going to check for oil leaks. Make sure there ain't no oil leaking on the ground. You know, people make mistakes. Sometimes you can leave a drain plug loose. You couldn't tighten the filter. There's a lot of things that you can forget. So just double check yourself on your car. I mean, it may not be a race car. It could be your daily. That's still what gets you back and forth to work. Check it. Always check this stuff. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump down here and we're going to go to the drag strip. So we're going to get a race in. We'll see y'all guys there. Alright, we're going to be doing the King of the Sands tournament. This is a car that is set up for half-mile races. You know, we really want to go fast. Quarter mile is just too quick for me. It just seems like it just is like you go and the race is over. So if you're trying to turn over money really quick, the shorter the distance, you know, the less length of time in the races, but I like half-mile racing. 1 mile racing is just asking for something to go wrong. I mean, it is really asking for something to go wrong. So 1 mile, we're in the Class A, which is the fastest class you can be in. $1,000. Let's go ahead and pay our entry fee. Alright, so let's see who we got out here at the drag strip with us today. We got got the Porsche Carrera GT, but anyways, we're gonna bet on the Mustang. The Pagani, it's like that's a really fast car. I'm going Pagani anytime I see it. The Hammerdale, it will just stomp this Ferrari. There's no way that this Ferrari is going to win unless this game cheats me. Now this will kind of be a tight race because this car is really quick. It's got 3 gears. It's got a supercharged V8 into it, an extreme amount of torque. But this is also a really fast car. I'm gonna have to go with that one still. As much as I hate to do it, the Porsche would probably stomp this Ferrari. So, this is kind of a close call here. This is $9.99. It's got 115% tuning on this thing. I don't know. This is a hard one to call here. I may not be able to do this one. Oh. Oh man, bro, are you kidding me? Zero payout. Okay, I got my money back, guys. I got my money back. Alright, so unfortunately, we are going to have to go back to the shop. I've never had this happen before on here. You thank the camera for it. But anyways, I'll see y'all back at the shop, guys. Wow, that is crazy. Let me get this thing moved up into the dyno shop. Alright, so to explain what just happened, we got out there, and it don't even look like it's raining here, but anyways, we get out there, and like one of them freak crazy thunderstorm happens and comes over, and that was it. Once the track gets wet, they don't let us race, so, you know, we was going to do some racing, but that really stinks there, guys. Like, as soon as we were getting ready, we had done placed in our bets, and they come in and said, all bets are off, you're getting your money returned. Well, I think we lost our $1,000 on our entry fee. I think that was non-refundable. So the drag strip got us for $1,000 today, but that's okay. That's okay. They send a lot of business toward us. We ain't gonna frown on it. Everything happens for a reason. I'd rather lose $1,000 than die in a car from racing down a wet track. So, but anyways, yeah, we had a freak thunderstorm come out of nowhere and got the track all wet, and they canceled it out on us. So we had to load up the car and come back to the shop, and then it stopped raining. That's about my luck. So sometimes you'll have things like this to happen in your life just out of nowhere. It's like, oh, I really want to do this, and then something ruins it. Those are normally life-saving events every time that it's happened for me. So maybe the Lord didn't want us running today. Something bad was going to happen. He was keeping us from getting down. But either way, guys, that was very unfortunate that we got rained out at the drag strip. So we're still going to run this thing. It just ain't going to be in this episode. But anyways, guys, I was glad to be able to finish it. Jessica was happy. She ended up texting me later and said that she doesn't remember the last time her car ran that way. And it's been a while. She don't remember it being that quick, but she's real happy with her car. We got it done, and then I was able to get out there to an auction, and we found a Toyota Supra Turbo. So we found a little Easter egg that we could afford, and we got it for $4,000 cheaper. So, take it with a grain of salt. You gain in some areas, lose in others. You can't get what you want all the time, but at least we come out on top. Anyways, guys, it's been great. It's been fun. I was glad I was able to explain all them things, because I normally have to do that in an episode. That way people are not lost trying to figure out what to do. But I will catch y'all tomorrow morning on our next episode at Driven by Christ Auto. I'll catch y'all guys next time, and God bless. Later.